Good evening, all the Smoke Nation. This is the College Football Playoff Reveal Show. We are going to get ready to advance, but as you see, the bracket has changed some over the last couple of games. It will officially change in a few once we find out what's going to be the top 12. But we got a couple of things to kind of hit first. Congrats to Arkansas winning the SEC. Oklahoma won the ACC. South Carolina, I think they're going to probably be in this bracket at some point. Won the Big 12. They'll be in this bracket. Miami won the Big 10. And Ohio State won their conference as well. So those are going to be the 5 conference title winners in. So there's going to be a lot of movement in a moment that we're going to find out. This is what the bracket, as you see, the bracket's kind of confusing right now because, as you see, Texas are probably the 1 seed. Ohio State probably the 2 seed. Oklahoma will be 3. Arkansas will be 4. Miami's going to drop to 5. As you see, it's going to be some movement because we will know the result of the Oklahoma and Penn State game at advance as well. Oklahoma is going to have to win. So it's going to be a little movement to happen in a few. But this is the bracket currently. Yeah, I said Texas won. So Texas moved into the number 1 seed. So this is just a look at the bracket. I'm going to bring up the top 25 entering this championship weekend. We're going to enter in the playoffs. I'm going to show y'all the top 25 of what it was coming into this week. So as you saw, Texas did coming as the number 1 team in the country. Miami, who lost to Texas in the title game, they were number 2. They're probably 5th in the bracket once the final bracket come out. USC is sitting at number 3, but they were not in the SEC, but they were not in the ACC title game, so they'll be at large. Hey, be nice. Number 4 is Penn State. They're gonna lose. They'll have another loss on their bracket, so I'm not sure where they will drop at 11-2. We're gonna find out. Ole Miss currently is number 5. We did see that they will drop to around 8, so they're gonna still be in the college football playoffs one way or another. Oregon is sitting at 6. They're gonna be one of the best at-large teams, so they will be in the college football playoffs regardless. Moving down to the 7th team right now is Ohio State. They are currently the number 2 seed in the bracket, and that's what they're probably going to end up being once we get the final results. Also, when you go to number 8 in the bracket, you got Michigan who's sitting there. They're probably going to get into the playoffs as an at-large team. They're 9-3, but once again, it really varies on how this thing's going to play out because a couple of top 5 teams lost. So we're going to see what they're going to work this around to be. Oklahoma currently sitting at number 9. They're going to be the 3rd seed when the bracket is finalized at advance. But we'll see what happens with it. At number 10 is Kentucky. Kentucky should be in the playoffs as an at-large. But we're going to find out. And then let's look around the bottom half of this bracket. And so we're going to talk about where it's going to be some interesting movement that could just happen. Texas A&M was the 11th team ranked, but I don't think they were in the previous bracket, so they may be one of the best teams out when the bracket comes out. Then you got 9-3 LSU currently sitting at number 12. They're on the outskirts of the playoffs, but again, you're in a position where it's all those at-large teams kind of fighting for those last couple spots. So they could very well be right outside the playoffs. And then you got Arkansas and South Carolina, who both won their conferences respectively. So them two are going to be into the 12, into the college football playoffs, because Arkansas is currently the 4th seed. And I'm sure South Carolina will come out as, at worst, the 12th seed when the bracket is official. So these are the teams that can make the college football playoffs. Everybody from 15 and lower is likely out. So I've explained to y'all who still has a shot. Now we're going to get ready to push to the next week, which is the college football playoffs. So let's get ready to advance it. Alrighty. Let me get this off the screen. We're about to officially find out the bracket. Of course, the ACC went to me, so I'm gonna possibly have a bye week. My team is Oklahoma. What's going on, BG? Shout out to South Carolina winning your conference to get into the college football playoffs. We're gonna find out where your seeding is gonna be shortly. Let's get ready to get to. Okay, so as we got some of the awards coming up. And if you all are aware, check the pinned messages. You will see the rewards that the points, the plus is going to be going to your players. It's going to be used in season 2. Congratulations to Colin Simmons, the pass rusher from Texas. He won a Heisman Award. And we'll get to the other awards shortly. But we've made it to the bowl week number 1. Let's get ready to find out who has made the college football playoffs. And here is the official bracket. The number 1 seed, the Texas Longhorns, have a bye. They're going to go to the Rose Bowl. The number 2 seed, the Ohio State Buckeyes, has a bye week, going to be at the Fiesta Bowl. The number 3 seed, Oklahoma Sooners, will be in Atlanta at the Peach Bowl on a bye. And at the 4th spot, South Carolina, the winners of the Big 12, will have a bye week and get ready for the Sugar Bowl. And now to the first round matchups that are happening. In round number 1, we got the 5 seed Miami Hurricanes hosting the Arkansas Razorbacks, who just won the SEC. So Arkansas wins the SEC and have to travel on the road to Miami. So good luck to that team. The second matchup in the first round, the USC Trojans will be hosting the Kentucky Wildcats at the 6 to 11 spot. In the next bracket, you got Oregon hosting Ole Miss. So the battle of the Justins. So Oregon will be hosting Ole Miss, who lost in the Big 12 title game. And last but not least, you got Penn State going up against Michigan in the first round with Penn State hosting. So this is your official playoff bracket. Not many surprises here. Of course, we saw some of the movement that happened before this advance even happened. But like the committee awarded South Carolina into the 12th spot to secure them the bye week. So South Carolina, Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio State has a bye weeks. Win the SEC, get a road game at Miami. The problem is because you were right outside of the 12, it kind of hurt you. So like with you being right there on the so you was gonna get in, but this is where, because you were in a Power 5 conference, you're in, but you may have to go on the road. Because that was Miami's first loss of the season. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is a big reason why winning them, going in with at least 2 losses or less is key, because this is a situation that you may fall into. But this is the bracket. Andy said we just happen to be here. To be honest, I don't want to see either of them. Yeah, you got a very, very tough first round quarterfinal matchup, the winner of that game. So yeah, the South Carolina Gamecocks make the playoffs and either face Miami or Arkansas. It's gonna be a tough one. And the rest of the bracket, we'll see. We're gonna see how things play out. We're in the stage now, so. And shout out to my Oklahoma Sooners. We're gonna be in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. We either got Kentucky coming to Mercedes-Benz, or we got USC. So look forward to matching up with either or. But let's go to that official final bracket. And as Kentucky said, USC bring Hey man, it's gonna be crazy. And Duke said no Gators. Hey man, it should have been me and you in the ACC title game, but we gonna leave that alone, man. Some people don't want to play mad. They all just want to play mad, but I ain't gonna call no names out here. But it should have been me and you in the ACC title game. Trust me, it happened that season. Okay, the last bracket that got the postseason. The number 1 seed, Texas, of course. This is the college football rankings. Number 2, Miami didn't drop, but they had the highest at-large bid because it didn't win the conference. Number 3 still stayed USC. USC didn't make the conference title game, but they had the luxury of not having to play in the ACC title game, so that helped them. The ACC title game, so that helped them by avoiding the ACC title game. At number 4, Ohio State. Ohio State won the Pac-12, got the bye week. Number 5, Oregon had moved up because a couple of teams lost, so they are the second, like we saw. Here goes BG saying with the real USC stand. Number 6, the Oklahoma Sooners, the ACC champions, moved up from 9 to 6. They got the bye week, and they'll be playing in Atlanta in the quarterfinals. At number 7, Penn State dropped from 4 to 7. They didn't drop low enough to be out of the playoffs with 2 losses. At number 8, Michigan, who again came in with a high ranking, and because they were one of the best at-large teams, they set at number 8. They didn't move. Ole Miss at number 9. They lost the SEC. They lost the Big 12 title game to South Carolina, but they were high enough to remain in the playoffs. Number 10, Kentucky. Again, this is what happened. This comes down to, as long as you're in that top bracket going into the last couple of weeks, you likely can make the college football playoffs. So this is what it's coming down to. At number 11, okay, like you said, Texas A&M, they didn't have a chance. They were just there. They basically were not in this position at all, because when you got number 12 and 14 who won their conferences, that was going to be an automatic jump. At number 12 is now South Carolina. They moved them up from 14 to 12 to make sure that they secured that playoff spot. And then you got Arkansas at 14. So when you look at the bracket, Texas A&M and LSU were the first 2 teams out. So they almost made the college football playoffs, but unfortunately, they just missed it by a hair, basically. That's just a reality situation for both teams. So that is your official top 14. Again, some of the other teams, you'll see it when it come up on the screen. Auburn is still ranked 15, Tennessee 16, Bama 17, Florida 18. Those are the other user teams that are still in the top 25. But before I get into the other things, let's go to the bowl matchups real quick. Just to see if there's any other user matchups, so y'all can know kind of who to get ready to play. Don't see any users yet. Let's see. That's a first round matchup. That's the other matchup. That's another matchup. Trying to find any games that are like not the winners of the conference. I'm trying to see. Okay, so we got our first user matchup that's not in the playoffs. We got LSU matching up with Florida State. They're both in the same conference, so they got them 2 matching up at the Independence Bowl. That's the first matchup. Another matchup user game. You got Buddy and Tel. If y'all tuned in, y'all gotta Bowl game matchup at the Texas Bowl is going to be Colorado and Tennessee. Let's see who's any other user matchups that we are not aware of. We're trying to look for them. Just a couple of non-user games. Like Florida got the Pop-Tarts Bowl, so you got pretty much a lab game. Texas A&M got the Alamo Bowl. Right, how ironic they're playing in the Texas Bowl. Let's see any other. Okay, you got Nick. You got the Music City Bowl. Any other matchups? Citrus Bowl. Arbor's at the Citrus Bowl, and last but not least, Ryan, you are at the Gator Bowl. So those are the bowl game matchups for the teams that didn't make the top 25. So we'll find. I'll make sure to announce the schedule in there. But let's go to the award winners real quick. So again, make sure you pay attention to the awards and make sure you log on and see which one of your players did earn an award. Those points goes to freshmen in season 2. Just in case that you don't remember that's what the league requirement is. It goes to your incoming freshmen for season 2. Okay, so player of the year went to Colin Simmons from Texas. Head coach of the year, I'm going to let it come up on the screen, went to Keandre in Ohio State. Let's go to the best quarterback. Best quarterback is Arch Manning out of Texas. Let's see the best defensive player. Best defensive player is Colin Simmons out of Texas. Best defensive back. Best defensive back is Malik Muhammad, the corner out of Texas. Best running back is CJ Baxter, the running back out of Texas. Texas is running up these awards. Best wide receiver. Finally, a non-Texas winner is going to be Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. The Lombardi Award, run up on the CPU. The best defensive lineman of the year, also with the Colin Simmons, who's won several awards, by the way. The Unitas Golden Arm Award goes to the best senior quarterback in the country, and that is none other than Will Howard out of Ohio State. Best defensive end, I'm pretty sure we're going to know who this award is when it comes up on the screen, but I'll let it come up on the screen. Of course, it's none other than Colin Simmons from Texas. Best interior lineman. Is going to go to Dylan Fairchild, the guard out of UGA. Best tight end. Is going to go to Gunnar Helm, the tight end out of Texas. The Broyles Award goes to the assistant coach of the year. Let's see what team has a solid assistant. That's going to be Andy Pack out of Ohio State. Best linebacker. Let's see, they come up on the screen. Is going to be Darian Gullett out of Texas. Best center. So the best center was actually a CPU team, but the way we rock, he goes to the next best user on the board, which is Jonah Monheim, the senior out of USC. So those points will go to him. The Lou Groza Award is to the best kicker of the year. It's going to be Dominique Zavada, the kicker out of Michigan. Let's go to the best punter. I feel like it's Florida State's punter. It's going to be Alex Mastromano from Florida State, and best returner from the University of Ole Miss is Jordan Watkins. So Ole Miss, you got the best returner. So make sure y'all go to the chat and see what those points are. And I'm going to show the All-American list, and then we'll be done. I'm going to post a bracket in the chat, and then the games that are to be played. So first team All-American, Will Howard, C.J. Baxter, and Dylan Sampson with the running backs. Isaiah Bond, Jeremiah Smith, and Brennan Thompson are the wide receivers. You got Colston Loveland as the tight end. You got the offensive line is Kelvin Banks Jr., Dylan Fairchild, Jonah Monheim, Tate Ratledge. Savadea is not on the user. It's not on the user team. When we let the defense come up. Starting off with Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. You got Abdul Carter from Penn State. Mason Graham, Walter Nolan. You got Harold Perkins as far as the starting unit. We'll get this come up some more before I continue. You got Barrett Carter from Clemson, Will Johnson from Michigan, Benjamin Morrison, Caleb Downs, and Malachi Starks will round out the first team All-American list. Go to the second team All-American list. And we're going to start out with DeMonte Trayanum, the senior running back out of Kentucky. Moving along, you're going to go down to Tyler Warren from Penn State. Then you got the left tackle, Will Campbell, who is probably headed to the draft from LSU. You got guard Donovan Jackson, the senior out of Ohio State. We'll bring the rest of the board up, but I am going to mention the guys that will be seen on the board. You got Ajani Cornelius, the tackle out of Oregon. Nick Skirton, the defensive end from Texas A&M. James Pierce Jr., second team All-American. You got Kenneth Grant and Tyleek Williams. The other players to round it out is going to be Jabbar Muhammad at corner, Xavier Watts from Notre Dame, and Malachi Moore from Alabama with Ben Thorson from Georgia to round it out. But as far as the freshman All-American, let's get to that list and then we'll be done. And like I said, I'll post a bracket. Arch Manning is going to round out at quarterback. Caden Durham is going to be the freshman running back, with the wide receivers of Mazio Bennett Jr. and Jeremiah Smith at wide receiver, Landon Thomas at tight end. You got Jordan Seaton, Jaden Chapman, the two of the offensive linemen. You got Alice Birchmeyer, Samson Okunlola, and Dylan Stewart is some of the round outs so far. Then you got from the remaining ones, Colin Simmons, you got David Stone from Oklahoma, Vic Burley, Darian Gillette, Sammy Brown, and then to round up the bottom half of this is Xavier Brown from Alabama, KJ Bolden, Caleb Harris, and Tyler White. But if you want to see your all-conference winners, make sure you log in on your team before the national championship game. Make sure you write down all the players who either won All-American or All-Conference. But once you do that, you'll know who's going to get points. But good luck to the teams in the college football playoffs, and I look forward to a great playoffs. Good luck, y'all. This is the end of the show.